In 1977, the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 space probes were launched to study the outer solar system. After 45 years, Voyager 1 has travelled 23.8 billion kilometres, or 159 times the Earth-Sun distance, and Voyager 2 has travelled 19.7 billion kilometres. They're the most distant human-made objects. A signal from Voyager 1 takes about 22 hours to reach Earth. Because scientists knew these spacecraft would reach interstellar space, they decided to fix to their sides a pair of golden discs. If any intelligent extraterrestrials come across Voyager 1 or 2, they could learn about us and our planet by decoding the information on the discs. This wasn't a new idea. Gold-anodized aluminum plaques had been placed on board the Pioneer 10 and Pioneer 11 probes, which had been launched earlier. The golden records, however, contain much more data. On the first side of each golden disc are greetings in 55 different languages.
各位都好吧，我们都很想念你们，有空请到这儿来玩。
𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗃𝐽𝐾 estis, bonam erga vos voluntatem habemus, et pacem per astra ferimus.
Hola y saludos a todos.
تحياتنا للأصدقاء في النجوم يا ليت يجمعنا الزمان.
Some sounds, such as wind, thunder, a train, a bus, various animals, footsteps, and some well-known music, such as parts from Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, the Well-Tempered Clavier by Bach, and Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. On the second side are images in audio form. Let's think about if intelligent extraterrestrials got hold of a golden disc, how they could decode the information it contains. Step 1. Examine the appearance of the disc. As you can see, there are some symbols on the record. For example, these symbols explain how to play the golden record. If we look at the first symbol, there are vertical and horizontal lines. These represent ones and zeros. If we convert this binary number to decimal, we get 5,113,380,864. If we convert this binary number to decimal, we get 4,587,027,072,128. At first, these numbers don't seem to make any sense, but if we have a key, we can transform them into something understandable. The key is this symbol. It represents hydrogen atoms, but notice that the electrons aren't the same. One of them points up, the other down. The reason for this is hyperfine transition. The electron in a hydrogen atom changes the direction of its spin spontaneously in about 10 million years. When this happens, the hydrogen atom emits electromagnetic waves with a wavelength of about 21 centimeters and a frequency of 1420.406 megahertz. As you know, hertz means 1 over seconds. So 1420.406 megahertz is equivalent to about 7.04 times 10 to the minus 10 second. Now, if we multiply the numbers we found with 7.04 times 10 to the minus 10 second, we get about 3.6 seconds and 3,229 seconds. 3.6 seconds is the time the record spins around once, and 3,229 seconds is the total runtime of the record. So we found the speed at which to run the turntable. Now all the sounds and music can be listened to as they were recorded. Step 2. If we listen to the second side of the record, we hear these sounds. As mentioned before, these sounds are actually the data of images. If we look at this symbol, we can clearly see audio waves and binary numbers. If we convert the binary numbers into decimal, we get the number 11,845,632. Again, if we multiply this by 7.04 times 10 to the minus 10 of a second, we get 0.0083 of a second, or roughly 8 milliseconds. When we examine the first symbol, it seems the scan time should be 8 milliseconds. So we need to scan these audio waves every 8 milliseconds. Also, this symbol shows that 512 audio waves form an image. So we're ready to decode the audio waves. Step 3. We need some powerful audio software, so we've chosen 𝗪𝗓𝐷𝐷𝐸. It's free and we're familiar with how to use it since our videos' sounds are processed with 𝗪𝗓𝐷𝐷𝐸. Interestingly, we struggled to find a copy of the Golden Record's image sounds. After a lot of searching, we finally were able to find it. If we open image sounds with 𝗪𝗓𝐷𝐷𝐸, we can see that the sound is stereo. That means there are 2 channels, and both of them should have image data, since they have audio waves. Let's split the audios and try to decode the first one. Between audio waves there are distinct rings, so we start at a random point after a ring. Also, as it's shown on the Golden Record, we start to decode when the third audio wave ends. But as you can see, the length of the selection is 16 milliseconds instead of 8. After a lot of checking, we decided that maybe on the record everything is 2 times slower, and we need to speed it up by a factor of 2. Now everything fits perfectly. In order to convert audio waves into pixels, first we need to convert the audio waves into numbers. So we enabled sample data export. We select the audio waves and export them. As you can see, we've converted audio waves into numbers. Step 4. Programming. We can convert numbers to pixels by using a different programming language such as JavaScript, Python, or PHP. You could also use Excel if you wanted to. However, if you chose Excel, be prepared to do a lot of work manually. We'll choose PHP instead. We don't want to write very complex codes. Let's keep it simple. However, the images we're going to decode won't be perfect. That's okay. All we need to do is to load the text file that contains the numbers and create a loop for pixel colors. That's all. We've written just 5 to 6 lines of PHP code. And it works. As we pointed out, the images aren't perfect, but we've been able to decode the Golden Record. When Voyager 1 and 2 were launched, scientists believed that whoever found the golden record would need to have some specific technological knowledge. But as you can see, we've created our own method and we're able to decode using it. It seems likely that if aliens did find the record, they'd find their own way of decoding it.